What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we have a huge data mine for the Teal Mask DLC, but not just the Teal Mask. We also got some more information about the Indigo Disk and all the things you need to know about the Pokemon DLC. And of course, guys, like my type of content, enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Please support the channel by hitting that join channel member button below on the bottom of this video. Shiny locked Pokemon for the Teal Mask. Do not try to hunt these because you won't be able to hunt them. They may be shiny in a future event, but currently in the game, they're not possible. Okidogi, Monkey Dory, Serendipity, Ogerpon, and Blood Moon Ursaluna are all currently shiny locked. There are also static encounters with Milotic and Ariados, which occur within the main mission and the side missions of the DLC, and they are also shiny locked. So do not waste your time. If you do happen to see these shiny in array, then they are gen and illegally gen for sure. So yeah, they're probably going to be GameStop events in the future for these 5. I can definitely see Okidogi and Monkey Dory and Serendipity and Ogerpon getting their shinies in like a year or two at some sort of like GameStop type event. But yeah, don't waste your time. Don't try to shiny hunt these guys. Now, we also learned that the Sinnoh starters, the Gen 4 starters, you know, Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig, they are in the game and they can be transferred via Pokemon Home. So if you have them in Pokemon Home already, you can just bring them over. Fast and easy, very quick. You don't have to worry about that at all. However, you do get them as a gift. So within the DLC, after you complete your school orientation stuff and the DLC thing, you talk to Jocks, and Jocks will have a picnic with you, and he will give you a random Gen 4 starter egg. I don't think it's actually tied to what your original starter was. For me, I picked Fuecoco, and then I got a Piplup egg, right? But I saw people in chat say they got a Fuecoco, and then they ended up with a Chimchar egg or a Turtwig egg. So it seemed to be completely random. Those are shiny locked, but it is pretty cool that you do get a Gen 4 starter. It looks like you only get one of these eggs. You don't get multiple of them, which is disappointing. I might be wrong on that. We'll find out in the future. But yeah, it's cool that everyone at least gets one Gen 4 starter and then, you know, breed them, trade them to other people, help them out, which is a really cool idea for sure. Now, we know all the Pokemon that are going to be in the Teal Mask DLC, but we didn't know about some of the home transfers. And the ones we didn't know about are Jirachi, the Gen 4 starters, which we pretty much knew about. That Pokemon Home people confirmed that in the previous video. Phenone Manaphy, Darkrai, and Shaman are all confirmed. You can now transfer these Pokemon from Pokemon Home and actually use them within Gen 9 for fun. Pretty much most of these Pokemon, all the Mythicals, are always going to be banned from competitive play, so you'll never actually see them play. But, you know, the Gen 4 starters have some niches, so if you want to use them in VGC, they could be really good. And hey, one of the Gen 4 starters got a pretty good buff. We'll go over that in a moment, but yeah, honestly, I'm very excited. I do wish we could catch the Gen 4 starters naturally in the DLC, but that seems to be the second DLC that Indigo Disk will be able to catch all the starters from Gens 1 to 8 in the wild after doing some side missions. So we actually learned about how Ogerpon is going to work. So one, Ogerpon is the only Pokemon that has special Terra Mask forms. So the Loyal 3 don't have anything like that, unfortunately. And Ogerpon has 2 abilities, which is very crazy. So it has one ability at the beginning of the battle and another one when it terras. And essentially, based on what mass it's holding, it's going to have a different ability. So if you're just using the regular Teal Mask, you're going to have Defiant. If you use the Water Mask, you're going to have Water Absorb, Fire Mask, Mold Breaker, and Rock Mask is Sturdy. Now, this is before you Terra. So I will say this, the Teal Mask one is incredibly strong. Defiant is actually massive. Water Mask is probably the weakest. Water Absorb is not great considering you're a water and a grass type. Fire Mask, not too bad, but not too great. And Rock Mask definitely seems pretty weak, which is sturdy in my opinion. So I think the regular Teal Mask, the mono grass one, is going to be the best. But when you do Terra, your ability changes, and the Teal Mask has a speed boost, the Water Mask has a special defense boost, the Fire Mask gets an attack boost, and the Rock Mask gets a defense boost. Now, I feel like when you Terra, the Fire Masks and the Teal Mask are definitely the 2 that stand out the most, which is pretty huge. You do obviously have a special mask form, as you can see. You do have an awesome fight against Ogerpon, and you get to learn about all the mechanics, but if you didn't know, these are cool. Big thing is you cannot change Ogerpon's Terra type. Its Terra type is always going to be correlated to the mask that it is wearing. So if it has no mask, it will always be the Teal mask, which is going to be a grass type Terra no matter what. So that is one downside of this Pokemon. And of course, it needs to be holding the mask in order to do it. The Teal mask is the only mask that has a default, so you can actually have an item and do the Teal mask from what I understand. But the other mask, like the fire mask, you would have to hold that. So there is a big downside to that. But your special move also does change type based on what mask you are holding or no mask. So, you know, pretty interesting Pokemon. This Pokemon's gonna be pretty cool, and it's not a restricted legendary. So we will be seeing this in VGC play, just like the Loyal Trio as well. And it seems like Blood Moon Ursaluna as well too. Now, we do have the stat spread. So Blood Moon Ursaluna is honestly, this is insane. It's a special attacker. 135 special attack. It honestly looks like it's like physical. It's pretty much like an Ursaluna like variant in the sense that they just really flipped attack and special attack here. It does have its own signature ability, Mind's Eye, which is like really good. I don't know how good Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to be. I mean, the fact that it has 135 special attack is just very interesting. It's still very slow. It looks really badass, and it is still a ground and normal type. So unfortunately, Blood Moon Ursaluna does not seem like it's going to live up to the hype, and it may not be as good as regular Ursaluna, in my opinion, even though that ability is phenomenal. Guts on regular Ursaluna is so good. Now, Dipplin, if you didn't know, Dipplin is more of a physical defensive Pokemon, but if you're going to make it what kind of attacker, it's definitely going to be more of a special attacker. Its signature move is going to be a special attacking move. Probably pretty good for Trick Room with that 40 base speed. Same with Ursaluna, of course. Sinnoh is a pretty good Pokemon. I mean, base 121 special attack is really good stuff. I love to see that. And 106 defense, and its signature move is Giga Drain plus Scald, which is pretty crazy. Now, Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pheasantipity all have 555. 5 more stats than Ogerpon, which is pretty funny. Okidogi is going to be a poison fighting. Monkey Dory is going to be poison psychic, and Pheasantipity is going to be poison fairy. Okidogi with the 128 physical attack, which is the big thing, and 115 defense. Monkey Dory with the 130 special attack and 106 speed. I think Monkey Dory might actually be really good because that's a pretty good stat spread. And poison psychic's not terrible. Pheasantipity is going to be 125 special defense and 99 speed. So that's actually not terrible. And 91 attack is pretty respectable too. Now, we now all know their hidden abilities. Dipplin has Sticky Hold, which is not that great. Poltergeist line has Heat Proof. Heat Proof is really, really good, especially for a grass type. That's a really good ability. So yeah, I think Poltergeist actually might be good in VGC. I hope it is. That would be really awesome. Okidogi has Guard Dog, which is not that great. Monkey Dory has Frisk, which I think you're going to be running Toxic Chain, which is the main ability over that for Okidogi and Monkey Dory. Now, Pheasantipity, Technician is pretty good, honestly. We will have to like really pay attention to like what this Pokemon wants to do with its move pool, but I think Pheasantipity may have the most going for it. Plus the fact that it is a poison and a fairy type is really good typing. Only other Pokemon that has that typing is going to be Galarian Weezing, so which is actually coming back in this DLC as well as a home transfer. So that's pretty cool. So as I mentioned, a Gen 4 starter got a big buff. Empoleon does not have Defiant and now has Competitive. Competitive is like the special attack version of Defiant. So that's really good. That's actually huge for Empoleon. And Shiftry lost Early Bird and got Wind Rider, which is good. Honestly, buff for Shiftry. I don't think that's going to be a big change for Shiftry, but that's a pretty massive change for Empoleon. So we might see Empoleon in VGC. I mean, Water Steel is great typing too. It has a good moveset. It has Wave Crash. I think it's going to be a good Pokemon overall. Now, here is the full list of TMs that we got in the new Scarlet Violet update. We got Roar, Charge, Haze, Toxic, Sand Tomb, Spike, Gravity, Smackdown, Gyro Ball, Knockoff, Bug Bite, which is massive. That's a massive one. Same with Knockoff. Super Fame, Vacuum Wave, Lunge, High Horsepower, big one. Icicle Spear, Skull is a massive one too. Heat Crash, which is good. Solar Blade, Uproar, Focus Punch. Weather Ball is really good. Glassy Glide, even though they nerfed it to 60, still really good. Burning Jealousy, Flip Turn, which is good. Dual Wing Beat's really good. Poltergeist is made one of the biggest, if not the biggest. Flash Out, Scale Shot, and Misty Explosion. So there is no Expanding Force. There is no Rising Voltage. So that previous leak was completely made up and wrong. And this is why we trust the Datamine. So this is definitely going to shake out the VGC meta. I'm very excited for Regulation E. Now, not only did we get the TMs and other stuff, we actually got some stuff for Indigo Disk, which is really interesting. What we learned about the Indigo Disk is there's going to be 4 new abilities, 76 new items. To be fair, most of those items are probably going to be food items in that 76, so and Pokemon-like material items too. 15 new moves and 8 new Pokemon. So 8 new Pokemon are coming in the Indigo Disk. And we probably already know, we know most of them already. I mean, considering the Paradox trios being added, so that's gonna be 4 right there, and then Terrapagos, and then Archlodon. So we know like a decent amount already. So that's pretty interesting. And another thing we saw in this data mine that relates to the second DLC, there is a number in between Dipplin and Okidogi, and it seems like Dipplin may actually be getting an evolution in the Indigo Disk. We don't know for sure. This is definitely speculation, but hey, Dipplin might get an evolution. So hey, I'll maybe get 2 Dipplins, and just if you want the full shiny line, well, get that Dipplin staying there, and then evolve your next Dipplin into whatever the final form will be in the Indigo Disk. Lastly, there are new gift encounters. So we already talked about the Sinnoh starters that are shiny locked, but you can get a shiny Munchlax with a crafty mark. Haven't figured out how to get that yet, but once I do, I'll make a video on that. And you get a Hisuian Growlithe, which is also shiny locked, but that's cool. Hisuian Growlithe and Hisuian Arcanine are actually really good Pokemon, especially Hisuian Arcanine in VGC right now. It's a top 10 Pokemon, so haven't got one yet. This is your opportunity. Well, there you guys have it. That is our quick rundown of the data mine. All the stuff I found very interesting. Let me know in the comment section below what you think is the most interesting from this, and I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon content and guides and gaming action. Peace out, and have a good one.